There's a nice path full of dropped gear. Probably not go there.
That's true.
Something you might consider. The stuff was dropped where they died. So,
But if this dungeon is so polite, maybe it moved all the remains to somewhere accessible.
It moved it all to a rubbish pile. There's like a rubbish pile in the next room afterwards or something.
yeah, the laughing matter one seems... It's so ominous, though.
I'm convinced that's like you need to tell a joke to the Grumpy King kind of thing.
Oh no, that'd be terrible.
No, it's going to be a joke. It's going to be a joke to the guy we just left.
Oh god. It's like, I will kill you all. You can't flee this time.
Well, you could try.
I say, us winning against you, and he laughs. Oh.
So
So it seems like darkness and fire. Darkness be your salvation. Just seems...
Be stay
sees
hidden.
the night is like, do a whole lot, be active. The darkness be your salvation means that we should
May possibly remain hidden.
accept something unknowingly. I don't know. That's too much analyzation. I like the Scorching Sands best.
I like it too.
Well, I'm a fan of that one because at least I enjoy the fact that we'll need to make very quick choices and we need to stick with them.
It just sounds like the most tangible one, which could be a trick.
Does, yeah.
But
It could be a room full of lava.
Tempus, you open the door, please.
Tempest just sort of walks up and
It
you know,
shouldn't
looks a sharp eye at Leon, saying, "Look, don't shove me through the door." And
How about we just do this? Taps the door.
That's not good enough. The door's closed.
Oh.
You're gonna have to grab the handle, or the knob in this case, which
just
does
do that.
feel warm to the touch.
Tempest will reflect that. No, it's warm to the touch. Well, we are in a living dungeon. Turns, opens.
I mean, let's take a look inside. It's probably not going to jump out at us.
These two doors click and begin to hum behind you.
Oh well.
Alright.
We've accepted our fate.
Guess
And
we...
before you is a massive stretch of sand. A wave of sweltering heat gushes into all of your faces as Tempus opens the door without checking for traps.
Shit. No! I actually still have trap sense. I still have sense, even if it failed and stuff. So I still have the passive benefits of trap sense.
Okay, why don't you tell me a bit about that then?
Okay. Trap sense.
Say,
Even rogues' backgrounds don't have anything to do. If a rogue skill check involving a trap is natural, even failure, the rogue can re-roll a skill check once. If the trap's attack roll against the rogue is a natural odd, the rogue can force the trap to re-roll the attack once.
yes, that gives you no benefit if you're not looking for anything, which you weren't.
I wasn't, but if it attacks me and it's an odd
Yes, if it attacks you and it's an odd roll, that's what it gives you. This is going to be hitting all of you as you're all nearby this.
So
Oh, the dungeon was polite.
10 versus physical defense. This is against Tempus. That is against your physical defense, and that is an even roll, which does not have to be re-rolled.
No.
This is against Leon. That is a miss. This is against Dwohurim. That will be a hit. And that is against Thomas. That'll be a hit. And Fargus, I guess I can keep track of him.
Did Fargus
Sure. That'll... Nah. Fuck it, I think that's a miss anyway. It is a hit. Okay, we'll bring Fargus' token into this. He might come back before you guys finish this. Okay.
He's like, hey guys,
Everyone who got hit by this, take 12 points of fire damage. If you weren't hit, you take nothing.
So, resist energy, anyone?
I have it on myself. I can put
Good for you.
Well, I put it on one person, which, you know.
Yes. Before you is a massive stretch of 150 feet, roughly. That's like 50 yards. I'm not entirely sure right off the top of my head what that translates to in meters. But yes, of searing, scorching sand. You can see the air vibrating in the heat.
Is
Yes.
it all just sand? Like Tempest has to look for anything like rocks or just any outcroppings on it.
Sure, you can analyze it. Give me an analyze the sand skill check.
Well, he has to be perceptive of things. I'm going to go with Survivor of the Dwarven Games. He had to look for things or nooks or crannies, things that could give him a perk or advantage in a very short notice. He had to do it quickly.
Okay. You can use that along with wisdom modifier and your level.
Yay! That would be... Let's see. 1d20 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3.
Yep, this is lots and lots of sand with hot rock beneath it. Not lava, it's basically like a floor. That's not the stone floor you're currently on. There are, as you're looking into the room, there are hooks. In each one of these squares, essentially, there is a hook mounted into the ceiling. Large enough that you could, say, thread a rope through.
Tempest sort of, stares up at the hook on the roof.
And I can, we'll say I'll mark these for you by putting down these tokens. I'll change this to a small size and put them here so that you know that there's hooks. Hook, delete this, and then hook, 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 hook.
Tempest pauses, looks at the ground, sees how hot it is, and goes, running across this is going to either burn us or cause us to trip, and I don't think we're going to be able to run that quickly across loose sand. He raises a single finger pointing at the hook. Our best option is that.
Don't get cold feet.
It might be literal, it might be a joke. Maybe we're supposed to get our feet burned for whatever reason. But that seems unlikely.
I think it's more just don't hang around. Tempest realizes
Looks at the hooks.
He says that, looking at the hooks, and then slowly thinks, oh.
Well, who would be
How
the
high
best at jumping from hook to hook with a rope?
Yeah, someone should scout ahead.
How high up is the hook off the ground?
10 feet. This is a 10-foot high ceiling.
10-foot high ceiling. Alright. Leon, how long is your rope?
50 feet.
I have another 50.
Has any of you got a shorter line of ropes?
We can cut it shorter.
15 feet, maybe, if you can cut me a slice of that.
Leon will take his rope, one of the 10 daggers he bought, and cut it about 15 feet.
Tempest will take it. Tie one end around his wrist. Make a sort of a hook with the other, a lasso kind of thing.
Okay.
You plan to go in there, Tempus?
Well, why not?
In that case, before you go in, Leon is going to cast a spell on you.
Also, first, before you do that, Tempest will probably ask for a few lengths of this 15 feet rope.
Yes, you can get 2 more.
3. I'm going to need 7 by the looks of things.
Well, Thomas could supply you with another 3 sets of 15 if you need them.
Worst to worst, I guess Tempest could try and vault himself over here, or whatever's up there.
Yeah, it depends what's over there.
Right. So Tempest will take each of these, put them, or wrap them around his belt, or his other side, or some form of way of carrying all 15, all 6 runs of this rope.
Would you like some energy resistance to fire?
That would be helpful.
As Leon will draw in the air a fiery ward and place it upon Tempus to keep him protected from the element.
Tempus doesn't feel like there's fucking sweltering heat at all. That oppressive wave of power that he was feeling. I mean, there's like pressure. He's good, yeah.
Alright, Tempest get readies himself with the lasso and starts throwing to get the hook.
Alright, why don't you go ahead and give me a hook makeshift lasso onto hook skill check. This will use your dexterity modifier.
Dexterity modifier. This has to be, this again, survivor, having to make precarious decisions. And a decision last before, he would have to somehow grab some clothes that he'd all tied together to throw up against some spikes hanging off the roof, tug on them to make their fine, and jump and da-da-da-da!
Sure, that'll be fine.
Okay, roll 1d20 plus 5 dex plus 5 background plus 3 for level.
Okay. With that amazing skill check, Tempus can get it done, and he thinks that it could support his weight, and he'll hook out to here, and then I'll go ahead and move that a bit so that it's, or maybe I'll just move you instead. Then he'll hook out to here, and then he can hook out to here, and then here.
Okay.
With these bits of rope dangling behind him.
Yeah, so it's like there's
Yes.
4, so he's on the 4th, so he's got 2 left.
Yeah, and then there, because you did do so amazingly well with that 28, and that'll take you to here, and that allows you to see around the corner.
Okay,
That's a trickier one.
Tempest sees a lot more
Uh-huh.
desert. Tempest realizes he's out of rope. Tempest hangs there for a while, looks back, says, "Gonna need a lot more rope." Tempest can't help but laugh. How is he feeling out here? Is he feeling really comfortable?
Well, not really comfortable. He wasn't born to hang from a 10-foot-high stone ceiling.
Temperature-wise, that is.
Temperature-wise, so long as the resist energy spell lasts, and let's say you probably still have like half the duration left in that, like maybe 2 minutes and some change. We're doing all right.
Tempest looks, figures this out. He figures I guess Leon gave him a sort of briefing. He just figures, fuck it, and he vaults himself forward.
Okay.
Ready to grab the hook.
He rocks himself back and forward and then vaults through.
Okay, give me a dexterity-based skill check using your Survivor of the Dwarven Games and level 4 to execute your vaulting landing. Okay. Not only does Tempus vault his way through, the sand as he does get closer to it is pretty hot, but he manages to land, like, right in this little fucking safe spot, like, scooted up on, like, the fucking edge here. So that his feet are, like, on the wall. Like, grabbing onto, like, dangling stones so that he isn't touching the sand. And sees the rest of the way down.
Tempest sort of takes a deep breath. Okay, there's a lot more here than I thought there was. Okay, scooting time. Scoot.
Where are you scooting?
He's going to start scooting this way.
Okay, with the skill check of 29, I will allow you to scoot to here.
Tempest has a look around. He notices he's at the edge. He's like,
yes, you are very precariously, like, clutching onto the wall, climbing along the side, essentially.
I imagine he's probably got daggers out, like he's like edged into the wall or something to hold them in.
Nice. It's a close enough there where you can see the door, which is humming. You can hear that much, and there's a sign next to it.
Can't read the sign from here. Okay, Tempest.
Tempus, are you okay? Okay.
It's getting hot in here.
Yes. At this point, the resist energy will expire before you make it back.
Yeah, I definitely think like getting over here would definitely take more than 2 minutes.
How would you ever want to make it back, though?
Yeah.
Although I guess retreating after getting through this one's going to be impossible.
I guess 5 minutes has passed. Does it recharge?
No, this is not a combat situation. It will not get a recharge option until after you combat.
Right, Tempest takes a deep breath, has a look around, looks up at the hook, takes a sort of a deep breath. It's starting to get a bit hot in here. Even his skin's starting to sweat oils. He actually sits and feels along the wall.
Okay.
Just in a sort of a desperation attempt while he's standing looking around, he's letting his fingers just one hand firmly embedded, holding on firmly, just letting the other hand slowly handle over the grooves, looking for any any hidden stuff. He's not trying to break anything. He's just gently pushing stuff.
I can confirm for you that there's no hidden panels. However, closer examination of the wall, and your experiences will prove this, it is loose enough, and there's enough handholds that someone could reasonably climb along the walls instead of trying to use the hooks to do anything. That would involve a strength-based skill check rather than dexterity.
Yeah. Tempus will look at these holes, and he knows his muscles are a bit aching from this. Looks over the hooks and realizes, don't have the rope. Swinging from them is going to be harder. But then I can always climb. But it's going to be tough. Tempus, pulls up his hands to his mouth, tightens his gloves as tight as he can, gets his fingers exposed, dries them off as best he can with the sweat, swaps over the hands, and vaults himself. So I guess his back's to the wall here as he scooted along so he could get a good look. And he's now going to, with one of the daggers that he's embedded in one of the holes, flip himself round to grab onto a hole. So he's now facing against the wall to then start climbing along.
Okay, make a strength-based skill check using your Survivor of the Dwarven Games background.
Alright, so strength of 2, level of 3, background of 5.
Yes. You wish to climb forward?
Yeah, I'm going to start climbing towards the door.
Okay, you can make it to this little safe edge here where you're not directly touching the sand. The spell expires. You successfully climb.
Tempus will have a look at the sign.
You can read it.
Don't look that. Oh, fuck. Oh, I've got another challenge to go through.
I have a feeling we picked the wrong path.
This door is still humming.
Are you okay? I feel my spell ran out.
It's getting hot in here. There's a... Oh, you're going to need to bring a lot of rope. Another equal amount and a bit more. Oh, God, it's getting hot. To get over here.
You don't have that much. Though, admittedly, I do have that spare clothing I bought.
Turn it into rope.
Yes.
You could. It is definitely worth noting that clothing which touches the sand, like if your boots and shoes actually strike the sand, they will begin to catch fire.
But with those spare sets of good clothing, could I turn them into some rope to use?
Sure. Why don't you use an attempt to make rope skill check?
Okay. So, while being a survivalist scout, sometimes you run into problems where you just don't have the resources available, so sometimes you need to take whatever you can, scavenge maybe off a dead body, grab some clothes, and use it into something. Rope is very, very valuable when you're out in the wilderness. It can use it to help climb to better vantage points, get away from predators.
I like that. You can use that along with your intelligence modifier in your level.
Okay. D20 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3.
You are able to turn the clothing you have into enough makeshift rope to put through the rest of the hooks.
Okay. As you guys see, I'm very carefully making rope out of this. Well, this is going to be fun. I will go next. This is going to go badly. I have no idea how Fargus is going to get across. He'll use Druid magic or something, I'm sure.
Can't you just turn it to a bird or something?
I will NPC him across. His Druid powers have ways.
Yes. So I'm going to try doing a similar thing to what Gryph did.
Okay. I want you to make a dexterity-based skill check. I suppose your survivalist scout background will apply as you attempt to basically swing from hook to hook. 27? Yeah, that's good enough. That'll take you all the way down here, where you can see the sudden sharp turn that has to be made.
Well, I made it to the end of your bit of rope, Tempus. This corner's a doozy. Well, might as well try and hook onto it with the next piece of rope and keep going.
Okay. Go ahead and make that same skill check for me. Well, there's no need for another skill check. Leon, go ahead and give me a description as you fill out the rest of the hooks and make it to Tempus, standing safely on the outskirts of the sand.
No, quite. Leon really does not like the heat in here, and he actually likes his clothes. He doesn't. He just used it on him like this. He's determined for this. So taking the piece of the rope which he's got coiled up on one of his arms, you see him ready a breath, swing back and forth, launch himself onto here, and then Tempus basically sees just fluid motion of swing onto here with the rope, momentum pulling him this side, and straight across again. Just this constant fluid motion of hooking on, back, forward, and landing. Landing with a flurry. That wasn't that hard. You take the breath, a very deep breath.
Yes. Very warm in here. It is almost suffocating, difficult to breathe.
Say, Tempus. Oh.
Tempus points to the side.
I don't like the name of that.
You're muted, by the way, Gryph, whether or not you intended to be.
Alright. Yeah, okay, so I'm getting the feeling all of us need to get here. And Tempus looks around for sort of safe areas to stand. And he's sort of wondering.
There are bits.
Yeah. Worst to worst, I can just sort of climb up the wall to allow someone to stand underneath me.
Sherm doesn't want to be the last person because then no one will be able there to pick him up from the burning sands.
Thomas was just going to suggest that he should go first so he can be, in the worst case scenario, picked up from the sand.
Yeah.
Please tell me Leon at least kept the end of the rope, so we're both holding it just in case.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So we have the end of the rope, just in case we need to swing back for any goddamn reason.
Tempus. I bet you didn't think I was that athletic, did you?
Tempus shakes his head and starts tying it to the sign, which I guess hopefully looks sturdy enough.
It might be.
Let's not tie it to the sign. Ties it to himself.
Yeah, just hold on to it.
You are sturdier than the sign.
Does you're not too confident about this whole thing, so maybe he would like to attempt, nothing else, a bit of a magical ritual, perhaps to make this a little easier for himself.
Sure.
That would be a ritual version, probably, of a ray of frost to...
Absolutely. What would you like to do with it?
keep himself cool.
Yes.
You'd like to basically cool himself down, or at least cool his boots and body to be very chilled.
That's a suitable idea. This will take you a few minutes, 1d4 minutes, and you can go ahead and make a magical background skill check.
Right. Because he really wants to do this well, he'll use the awesome ritual components.
Okay.
That he has for a +4.
All right.
So.
Your magical background plus your intelligence modifier plus level +4. Well, Dwohurim, after a few minutes, is able to basically ensconce his boots, his entire feet, and his lower legs, and a shroud, or rather a thick blocks of solid ice, which will allow him to perfectly walk all the way along the sand and reach the door.
Good. Well, he does that, looking back to the others, nodding grimly as he just sort of strolls.
That is the primary idea I had for Dwohurim getting past this.
For the sand. As he arrives over here, shakes the last of the ice off of his boots, looks at the others, nods to them.
Fargus turns into a fucking crow and flies across.
Fuck you, magic people. Thomas will do this with work and sweat.
What do you expect? I'm a wizard.
I did this with work and sweat as well. Right now I'm currently discussing with Tempus how I had to cut those good fine clothes into more rope.
Looking at like the unstable underwear rope.
Well then, I guess Thomas will just take a running jump at the first rope and try to get a rhythm going or something.
You have a good dexterity.
All right, we can use your Do you have any backgrounds which would have made you familiar with swinging from rope to rope? I don't think you did this as a guard, and I don't think you did this as a bartender.
I was leading a very extravagant bar, I will tell you. It was up in the trees. Huge trees, I tell you. No, I don't think I have anything that applies.
Well, you are taking a leaping jump with this, so why don't you use your strength modifier plus your level?
Alright.
You're forcing your way.
Alright, my
Keep up to
level
like
is...
average 15 rolls.
I should have taken that +1 to skill checks, by the way.
It's not useless, is it?
Oh, nah.
Okay.
Not a terrible
Keeping up the
one.
rolls. Keeping up the rolls.
Yes, seeing a lot of good numbers. That, I say, well, you're so determined. Don't want to hold back the rest of the group. That will carry you to... Shouldn't carry you as far as all those other people, those amazing 25 pluses. That'll take you to here, where it's definitely going to be dexterity skill checks as you're dangling from this hook.
Alright. This was the wrong path. My dexterity is 1. Nope.
No.
Failing forward, right?
Yes, that is definitely a failing forward. Okay. Let me consider.
I love how you suggest that.
Yes.
Oh.
The best part is none of us can see what's going on.
No,
Yes.
we have no idea until we hear like the sizzling of skin.
How about Thomas gets to here, and then the hook snaps, and the rope chain is broken. The hook vanishes basically in the sand, and let's see here, Thomas. You did roll a 1, but why don't we allow this this trap to make an attack roll against you anyway, as it threatens double damage. Okay, 15 versus PD. That will just basically be it'll be half damage on its miss, so you will take 12 points of fire damage as your body collides with the sand, and it gets all in your armor. And the hook is broken.
Oh, curses echoing through the tunnels here.
Don't put
As
that
Thomas will probably right away try to just scramble for the next rope.
Alright, Tempus use this.
You could scramble for the wall and try climbing.
I mean, what climbing?
Climbing would definitely be climbing would be strength based. Yes.
You know, fuck the ropes. They are not safe. Let's climb.
All right.
I chose rope because I have dexterity.
Yes. Thomas scrambles for the wall, and go ahead and give me a strength based skill check.
All right.
As your boots begin to melt.
I just bought these.
And they are, we'll say that you grab on and you're able to get your way across the wall, but they are completely lost. Your boots have turned effectively into a melted mess of sludge that is doing nothing but weighing you down.
Let me put that down into my inventory. I have no boots. Alright.
How much armor class does your armor offer you that you wear?
My armor offers me, I have to check that.
I know it's not a question that's ever been asked before, but let's see.
It is 14.
Okay, we'll say that your armor class is reduced by 1 because your lower leg armor is effectively gone.
If enemies target my feet, they can hit easier.
You know?
Yeah, he uses toes as grips
yes,
now.
And now you really don't want to be on the sand.
I really don't want to be.
It's going to be a strength-based skill. Yes, it's a strength-based skill check to keep climbing from here.
Can Thomas use a recovery while clinging to the wall?
Sure.
All right, let's do that first.
Take a breather.
Yes, hold on with your straining muscles.
As a
We all
god,
cheer.
as a god, has Thomas ever gone ahead and has Thomas ever had to follow someone through like a dark alley and like climb over a fence before?
He has not climbed in this situation.
No. I'll be right there, guys. Just give me a moment. All right,
Tempus
you
is
probably
actually-
want more checks, don't you?
Oh yeah, you better believe it.
All right, that's not bad.
Yes. That takes you to here, and you'll have to make another one.
Yeah, here I might be able to help because I can actually reach him now by shooting rays of cold sort of on the stands below him, trying to.
Just expended your Ray of Frost.
You've permanently expended your Ray of Frost
Oh,
into a
alright.
full heal up
Yeah.
by using a ritual.
That's true. That's true.
You're out of magic.
I don't know about him being out of magic. He just can't Ray of Frost.
I wonder if Tempus is an idea. He could also throw cutlery as sort of point so he can like hold and grab and climb over with them.
Cutlery.
It'll probably fall out the wall, but remember that is his ranged weapon, cutlery.
Tempus actually has a ranged weapon as cutlery. He actually purposefully got it to use his power flying blade.
Tempus doesn't think the cutlery is powerful enough to stick into the stone wall by him throwing it at it.
Okay, Tempus's crossbow.
That could work, but he's not sure whether the bolts would support Thomas's weight.
Damn it.
I mean, worst comes to worst, they would make it easier, surely.
You know, if you fall,
Sure.
the safe point's right here.
I won't make you make a skill check for the crossbow bolts. This will give Thomas a +2 to his climbing skill check.
All right, that's
So
all
this
I
will
need to roll a one
slowly-
regardless.
Like a run of like crossbow bolts along the wall.
Sure. That will be sufficient. Thomas
That's
is
another
able
one.
to make it the rest of the way. As Thomas approaches all of you, the door stops humming and clicks.
Guys, I need new boots.
Alright.
Let's retreat and get them.
Tempus will stand and he'll try and help everyone else through the door first.
You-
He'll help Thomas and stuff.